Overnight rain meant that the third practice session of Formula One's Mexican Grand Prix was a little bit more duller than usual, but the last 20 minutes we got a lot of action as the teams and drivers prepare for qualifying here on Saturday. Let's take a look at the drivers and the Constructors' Championship. 2 weeks ago, we were in Japan, Suzuka, at a very weather-affected Japanese Grand Prix, and now we are 2,200 metres above sea level for the Mexico City Grand Prix at the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, a 4.304 kilometre circuit. It was built back in 1963 and its first race as well proved to be a championship decider. This weekend though, it forms part of the Formula 1 calendar, just 4 races to go here in Mexico City, and then on the 1st to the 3rd of November, in just a week's time, the United States Grand Prix at Austin, Texas. Then on the 15th to the 17th of November, we have the Brazilian Grand Prix at Sao Paulo, and at the end of November, and all rounding out on the 1st of December, is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton has his first chance of winning a 6th Drivers' Championship this weekend. He leads Valtteri Bottas on 388 points to Bottas' 274. If Hamilton outscores Bottas by just 14 points, he is the world champion. Can he do it? Meanwhile, the battle for third is heating up, with Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel all closing in. Verstappen and Vettel level on points. The gap for runner-up though, Carlos Sainz leading the way on 76 points, Pierre Gasly on 75, Alexander Albon on 64, and then the battle for 9th place with the midfield team, Sergio Perez 37, Lando Norris 35, Danny Kvyat on 34, and now also 34 apiece for Danny Ricciardo and Nico Hülkenberg after their exclusion from the Japanese Grand Prix results. They are now down in 12th and 13th. Kimi Raikkonen could also join that battle. Then another gap with a 2-horse race between Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen for 15th and 16th. And then we get Romain Grosjean on 8 points. He's battling Antonio Giovinazzi for 4th. Robbie Kubica still only has 1 point. And George Russell, yet pointless in 2019. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, well, with Renault now being disqualified, Mercedes clinched the championship in Japan by just 1 point from what they needed. They are a 6-time Constructors' Champions in a row. Ferrari are battling out for 2nd place. They currently have the advantage, nearly 100 points over of Red Bull in 3rd, so the top 3 look pretty safe. McLaren seem to have got themselves into a safe position in 4th place, but it's the battle with the rest of the field. Renault on 68 points, having no points scored at all at the Japanese Grand Prix with their disqualification, puts them in 5th place now. Toro Rosso promoted up with Pierre Gasly and Danny Kvyat, now on 62 points. Racing Point on 58. Alfa Romeo on 35. They are very much the outsiders in this. They are battling with Haas F1, who's in 9th on 28 points. And Williams only have 1 point from Germany with Robert Kubica. So, watch out for the more interesting battle. That's going to be between Renault, Toro Rosso and Racing Point. Let's get on to the third practice report then, which for the first mainly 40 minutes, absolutely nothing happened. A massive overnight rain shower in Mexico soddened the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, so the drivers that did go out went out on the intermediate tyres. So that's the 3rd set they've used so far this weekend. They only have 4, however, but the FIA stewards have released that they will get an extra set for FP3, so we should have enough if it is a wet qualifying and a wet race later on in the weekend. However, nothing happened. Lando Norris made a little mistake on his first out lap, but absolutely nothing happened for the first 40 minutes. But when we did get some running, Charles Leclerc into the session fastest. He ended it on a 1:16.145, 0.027 faster than Sebastian Vettel. A stellar lap time for Vettel in 2nd place. A Ferrari 1-2. A Mercedes 3-4. Bottas ahead of Hamilton. These two really got to sort themselves out ready for this weekend as well. Only a Mercedes driver can win the Drivers' Championship, remember as well. That is the key thing. Going further down as well, we get Sainz and Verstappen. Sainz with a stellar lap. He was 5/10 quicker than Lando Norris, who ended up down in P9. But Gasly as well, looking quite good. The real surprises on the list, though, were with Renault, Hulkenberg 19th, and Daniel Ricciardo not even on the timing sheets as his car, as well as Hulkenberg's, had an issue with the cooling. They didn't take part in the third practice session either. Rounding out the top 10, where we saw Sergio Perez for the third session running in the top 10, and then we saw Raikkonen, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Grosjean, Russell and Kubica alongside Hulkenberg in the back half of the circuit. Pretty much of a washout in the session. Pierre Gasly, we had a worry for him as well. Gasly eventually managed to get on the track and put a time in on the board for P7, a 1:17.090. He completed 10 laps in the end. He only got in the car with 20 minutes to go. He's been hit with the bug, that is the illness bug that's going around the circuit. That's hit about 150 of the Formula 1 staff, but he should be okay for qualifying because he's done practice 3. So let's hope he can be alright for qualifying, and most importantly, the race as well. Not a lot happened. Let's take a look at the times then from FP3. So Charles Leclerc is the fastest at 1:16.145. Sebastian Vettel is second at 1:16.172. Valtteri Bottas third at 1:16.259. Lewis Hamilton fourth on a 1:16.381. Fifth place for Carlos Sainz, a great job in the McLaren at 1:16.638. Then we get Max Verstappen on a 1:16.903. Pierre Gasly on a 1:17.090. Alexander Albon on 1:17.094. Lando Norris at 9th on 1:17.146. And Sergio Perez rounding out the top 10 on 1:17.207. Then we get Danny Kvyat is 11th on a 1:17.529. Kimi Raikkonen is 12th on a 1:17.740. 13th for Lance Stroll at 1:17.866. 14th for Antonio Giovinazzi on a 1:17.881. 15th for Kevin Magnussen on 1:18.132. 16th Romain Grosjean on 1:18.527. Then we get Robert Kubica in 17th on 1:20.965. And then in 18th we get a 1:22.002 for Robert Kubica. And the two Renaults not classified, but Hulkenberg completed some sector times, so he is in 19th, and Daniel Ricciardo never went out in the session. He remains in 20th. We'll be back then tomorrow for all of the action of the Mexican Grand Prix, what could be Championship Sunday from 6 o'clock UK time as well. Join us to find out if Hamilton could be the title. We'll see you tomorrow from Mexico. Bye for now.